How are you? How's everyone doing? We're starting with breaking news. Trump has been evacuated after gunshots were heard near where he was. Well, there are several versions. Obviously, since this is breaking news, we'll be following the story as it develops, but for now, he had to be evacuated. There are two reports. One says the person who was shooting has been detained. Others say the person has been neutralized. So we'll keep following the information as it comes in. We have to remember that Donald Trump was at an event, an annual event with the press, where there is usually a comedian. At that event, precisely when Barack Obama was there, Barack Obama made fun of Donald Trump, and they say that from that moment on, Donald Trump became obsessed with the presidency. Well, it's quite a remarkable moment because, well, this president has been surrounded by events of this magnitude. We're going to look at some images. We're going to see how it happened. This situation is obviously a huge issue. Thanks to the community that's joining the live stream, we're gradually sharing what we're observing. They were at the event according to what's reported in this image. You can see that they're hitting him apparently. Here we go, let's keep watching. It says gunshots can be heard on stage in the background while the Secret Service evacuates. There's the moment when the president is evacuated. This is the moment when Trump was being taken out. Let's listen to see if we can hear it. Yes. And at that moment, there's the bang and, well, everyone starts moving. This is at the White House Correspondents' dinner in Washington. From what we know, obviously, it's a huge issue. What do you know? What reports are out there?
Well, it's reported that there was a lot of noise. As you could hear in the footage, you could see the plates. Obviously, this was definitely used as a way to hide the sound. That was probably the thought of the person who did it. And well, the attendees reported loud noises, Secret Service agents were shouting, and there were reports of a shooter circulating immediately after the evacuation. The Secret Service confirmed that the suspect was neutralized between Washington and Hilton. That's one of the reports. Yes, the president was scheduled to make his first statements. There wasn't a Correspondents event last year. And well, this really draws attention because he hadn't even given the speech yet. Well, this event happened. The president is safe. The First Lady is also safe.
Well, it's an incredible moment. These are, well, some of the images that are starting to emerge, that are starting to circulate in the media. Here we'll be giving you the details step by step, seeing more or less how it happened. This is the outside part of the event, the Correspondents' dinner. There are members of the Secret Service there. There are two types of Secret Service, some who are not in uniform and others who are in uniformed service. Apparently both of them are already there. At that moment, the Secret Service agents, with their weapons drawn, let's say, they are ordering the reporters and other correspondents to move back after reports of shots fired inside a hotel. By the way, this is a hotel where the event is taking place. It's not inside the White House, it's a hotel. The White House Correspondents' dinner usually has a comedian attending, but this time they didn't invite any. This also caught people's attention as part of the different things Donald Trump wanted to do at the event. Trump, this is the invitation of the moment, right? This is the image of Melania Trump. If I'm not mistaken, she is the one.
Karen Leavitt.
Karen Leavitt, isn't she the White House spokesperson? There is Donald Trump at the event, well, now with the classic bow tie, right? For an event, well, at night. And at that moment, they already show some images where people were taking cover under the tables. No, while they were hearing the gunshots and seeing the Secret Service moving around. It's also quite an incredible situation, isn't it? Honestly, right? How is this weekend ending? Now, what I imagine, what they're going to be doing is figuring out who this person is, right? Here on Twitter, I see that more and more images of this moment are being uploaded, right?
Exactly, and we should also remember that Karen Leavitt, who was right there next to the president, next to the First Lady. She's just days away from having her baby. She's pregnant, and well, she was at this event. Let's hope she doesn't have the baby right now.
That's right. Also, well, how many months along is she?
She says she's just days away. Just days now. Days, yes, just days. Yes.
Yes, or, well, that's also part of what she's going through right now. Let's go over some of the details. Let's see how the timeline unfolded. First, the hotel is the Washington Hilton. While the president was attending the gala event, tactical teams took position on the stage and the police surrounded the place. A cabinet member reported a shooting. The alleged perpetrator was initially reported as detained and has now been neutralized. Yes, it will have to be determined who the person is and how close they were, whether they were actually inside the hotel or outside. At the moment, there is no evidence that the president did anything to him or anything like that. No, I mean, for now they say he's fine. The Secret Service reported that the alleged perpetrator was neutralized, although there are other reports saying that he is in custody. Well, from what I understand, the latest report is that he was neutralized. A member of the cabinet was the one who reported that he was hearing the gunshots, and that's where this whole situation started. A military veteran named Erin Talman was reportedly there. She was, by the way, at the scene and was one of the first witnesses, they say, and she saw a man fall right behind her. She said this. Well, that's also part of what's drawing attention. A big hello to Rodolfo, Clip, Miguel, and everyone joining. Thanks for being with us and welcome to all the new community members. Well, that's how we're wrapping up the week, and at a time when, by the way, today it was expected that they would be arriving. Wilkoff and Jana Koshner were expected to arrive in Pakistan in the next few hours, but we have to remember that that flight was cancelled. The plane was headed to Tehran, or not to Tehran, it was headed to Islamabad in Pakistan. And they tell them to come back. The negotiation simply isn't going to happen. That's also an important part of what's happening right now. Let's see what comes up on social media. Let's see what comes up. In the reports, in the images and testimonies people are sharing, no.
It's a place where she is right now. It's an event that's full of journalists.
Journalists?
Exactly. If anything is abundant, it's probably people reporting.
Probably. And cameras. Exactly. Well, let's go to the next image. This is a view from behind the tables that also shows the reaction. Let's listen to a bit of this. This is from Jennifer Jacobs, published by BNO News. And everyone has wondered about meeting him. It's impressive.
Who told on top of that?
No, just in case someone, if there are several, in case there end up being several. Thanks for watching the video. Katie, do you have all your things? Stuff? Yes, I'm fine.
I'm fine, cool.
One moment. That person dropped something there, didn't they? Ah, look, there's the actress.
There's Robert Kennedy and his wife is here. I remember he looks cool.
Yes, the actress from Cruyff. So there she is. She, the grandmother who is there, is Kennedy's wife. Ah, sorry, we'll see her again in a moment. She's really good as an actress. Honestly, her character is really good, but, well, it's chaotic. The situation is chaotic, obviously. Check out how the event ends. That's crazy. Honestly, what a situation. Let's look at the next image. This is another moment. I imagine they're still there. There it goes. It's the same one we saw earlier. All right, let's go to the next one. I think we have another one around here. People. That's good. This is the moment. I imagine that when he was already on his way out, I suppose, we'll be paying attention to this topic. And, well, right now we're sharing other images of how it's going, how this situation has developed. I don't know if this person, the one giving the message, is warning him about something, but I think it's something else, right? Yes.
But something else. He's very relaxed. He's very relaxed. He's talking to Melania more than anything.
And that's where they interrupt him. They tell him, no, you have to leave here. And they take him out immediately. It's this very exact moment, right? The one that, well, was the right? Just to say that it's the exact event. It seems to me that it was very planned since the attacker was thinking, right?
The truth is that the event continued. It's not like it stopped.
I mean, towards the center.
Without Trump. In fact, did you see the video where they let them know that, well, everything is going to continue? Up there too. That's not the event. Yes. The one where they tell them that the event continues. I mean, yeah, it's curious, right? I thought they would cancel it, obviously. Regards. That just happened. But, well, no, they keep going. And this really draws a lot of attention.
Exactly. Well, let's look at the other image. It's this one. This is another image where, well, they basically take Trump almost from the ground. They probably put him on the floor first so they could check the area to make sure it was safe. And then now, yes, they move him to another area. Obviously, incredible, right? I mean, all the forces are there shining their lights forward, right? Also to light up any possible suspect. And
Well, according to the Wall Street Journal, the shooter at the scene, according to witnesses, was carrying a rifle and a magazine, according to people who managed to see this individual.
how? How did he get in?
Yes, how did he get in?
With a rifle and a magazine? I mean,
Someone probably helped him bring it in, maybe through the kitchen or somewhere else, right? Yes.
it's really weird, huh? How did security miss that? Honestly, that's a lot of mistakes in that regard. Honestly, it's terrible. Let's go to the next image. I think there's another one. This is the moment when it's the moment they announce this, that the event will go on. Come on, girls. So basically they say there aren't many details. Later on we'll be sharing more details about what's happening, about what happened. Imagine it's the scene with the journalist. Well, obviously everyone wants to know exactly what the heck happened. Well, they say they'll give a summary later on. The event will continue, obviously, without Donald Trump. And, well, that's how it is, right? Obviously here there are all kinds of comments that I've been reading on social media. A lot of people are asking whether this is real. They just don't believe in anything anymore. And they say, well, this was what's it called? A show, right? Or it was staged, I don't know what. That's what a lot of people think or comment. But I think that no matter what happens, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what, there will always be a group that says that's just a smokescreen, that's staged. So, well, obviously that's just the classic, right? Whether it will be or not, well, I mean, it will have to be proven. It will have to be proven over time, but right now that's just speculation in any case, right? And, well, everyone's opinion is valid because everyone has their own. But, well, actually knowing that is another matter. Now, what is true is that, well, if the person was there, if the person was shot, I mean, there will be images at some point, there will be images, and it will have to be shown who this individual really was, right? How he got in, I mean, all these kinds of details, well, will have to come out and we'll see who this person was.
Exactly. The whole shooting that happened in the lobby of the Oceanal Hotel actually reached the So area. The diners and correspondents, it didn't get that far.
It didn't get to that point, right? No. I mean, let's say it got pretty close. It entered the hotel. I mean, yes, it was inside the hotel because at first they said they weren't sure if it was outside or inside the hotel. Well, it was in the hotel, which is also pretty serious. Well, let's move on to the next one. I think we have more images, right? Let's see. Let's get into the details. It says it's gonna come back, huh? So they're seeing if they'll let him return, but it's possible that Donald Trump will come back to this event, right? They're analyzing that possibility, so, well, that would also be a possibility, huh? I mean, it's possible they'll let him come back if they see there's no more danger. Now, well, that will be a decision made at the right time and we'll see if it's true or not, but it looks like that's how it's going to be, right? That's what US media are already reporting. Let's see, this is outside, right? This is outside of
Washington.
Let's see. This is on the streets of Washington. Let's see what's going on over there. Well, let's see if the video loads now, right? In the meantime, well, go ahead and leave a comment telling us where you're watching from. There it is. Let's listen to this. This is later. It's after the attack. Everything is a bit more hectic now, a bit more chaotic. The scenes are shown by Sean Spicer, right? But there are journalists outside, journalists inside, a bit of everything, right? That too, while it's an important part of what's happening, who knows how this person pulls out the weapon. Or at what moment does he decide that he'll be the one to attack or whatever. That also catches my attention. It will have to be analyzed, and even how close he managed to get, right? That would also be a huge topic, wouldn't it? Well, that's something we'll be talking about, right? Obviously, the news is still developing. How are you, Alex? Hello, good evening. Christy Krantz, have a nice night. Greetings. Perla, how have you been? Very good. Yes, Trump was removed from the hotel. They're deciding whether to let him back in. That's at least what they're reporting. I'm saying, honestly, I find it hard to believe they'll let him back in. But, well, that's what's being said right now. Martinez Gutierrez, what's his name?
Here's Trump's comment. Let me pull it up. He already tweeted, you know he can't hold back. And here it is.
What are we going to see? The tweet that Trump posted over there. And in the meantime, let's also take a look. It's this tweet. Let's see if we can pull it up. Let's see what it says.
Let me see it. It says, what a night with the Secret Service. And what does the police say? Works? Fantastic, quick and brave. The one who fired was apprehended, it says.
So, it's confirmed. They didn't eliminate him. He's been apprehended. So that's super important.
It's important, yes, and I've recommended that the show continues, but it says you're blocking me, but they've guided me. I mean, the police have told him that they're going to make the decision soon. I mean, no, the show will go on. They're still not sure if they're going to bring him back or not, he says. About the decision, he says it's very different from what I had planned. Well, he says it's going to happen again. I mean, he didn't think it would happen again.
Well, that's how things are. That's the message. He's been apprehended. These are the words of Donald Trump. I mean, the person is alive. So that will also help a lot to know, well, what intentions he had, how things are.
Someone reports that they took someone out limping. I mean, maybe that's the person, or maybe it's an injured person, right? But did the Secret Service take someone out limping from the scene? Well,
that's also going to be an important topic. That's some of the information we have. Now, the Secret Service had already had trouble in previous operations, especially the one where they shot him in the ear. A topic that also continues to cause controversy because the investigation, which is supposedly ongoing, has raised a lot of questions. To say the least, that's also an issue there. Tremendous.
Exactly. All of this is very strange. And besides, seeing Donald Trump, who has been, well, it's been a while. This would be the third or fourth attempt to take his life. Of course, I think this is the first one, obviously the one with the ear, and this would be the second.
The most important one, of course. Yes, the ear one. Well, it's tremendous now. Listen to what Karen Lewitt said. It's incredible. Perla says, greetings, Perla. How have you been? Mr. X, a big shout out to Mr. X. How have you been? Angelica Bulliner, greetings. Also big greetings all the way to Texas. Thank you for your message. By the way, Mr. X here, why is from... Well, they are part, let's say, of what's happening right now in Washington, D.C. Not at the White House, at the Hilton Hotel in Washington, D.C. That too. The event apparently is going to continue. Although from what I understand, it could, well, happen again. That would be one of the possibilities. Yes.
Well, the event is going to continue. He, as they say in the tweet, doesn't know if he will return or not. I mean, that decision will be made by the Secret Service. And well, he says that if he doesn't go, well, it'll be held another time. According to Axios, the suspect was armed with a shotgun and tried to bypass security. The shooter was in custody. Also, they say the shot was aimed at Secret Service agents, but they are fine. I mean, there are no injuries among the Secret Service. The impact occurred while they were wearing protective gear, according to an agent. And after the president was evacuated, armed Secret Service agents remained on the stage, watching the crowd with their weapons drawn, but pointing them downward. Along with Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance and First Lady Melania Trump were also evacuated. Several cabinet secretaries were also in the room. Marco Rubio was there, for example, and the diners immediately threw themselves to the floor, hid under the tables, with all the commotion. And well, that's what was reported by Axios.
Well, actually, by the way, Action from the media, who more than anything kept interviewing Trump by phone. So now, who is this individual? The big question is, who is this person? I mean, what does this person represent? Let's say was he a lone wolf? Is it related to the issue with Iran? Is it related to other things? Well, those are the questions that will be coming up. Obviamente desespera. More information, like the president says here. Another drama, right? Another one. Greetings. How have you been? Hello, Hugo people, Sylvia, to the whole community. Martine, how have you been? Big greetings to everyone who is joining. Thank you for liking and sharing. It's important so we can be here with you every day. Please participate and recommend the videos. We will be paying attention. More information and images will surely come up, so let's try to share them. By the way, thank you very much to the community that has been sending us alerts and reports about this situation. We will keep paying attention to it. Is there any image we still need to show? Not yet.
Let's see about the images. Yes, I think so, above the ones from the tweet.
Let's see. Let's take a look. What other images do we have here? We'll obviously be sharing them. This would be another one of the images, and we'll also be looking at the reactions. By the way, this is one of the staircases in the hotel where the Secret Service is. You can clearly see that they start running. That's the moment right there, isn't it? He says this was recorded by Kevin Whaling, where he shows how the Secret Service, well, mobilized on the stairs. Look at how they're all running, pulling out their weapons. Obviously, that's all there is, right?
Because this president can't relax. Let's listen.
Wow. Well, there it is, right? Everyone, yeah, anyone could be a suspect there, so don't even move. Damn, there are two strong ones on the ground and don't even move, basically, right? Because yes, it's obviously intense, and then I think there's another image that we haven't shown either, right?
It's from the Correspondents.
This is from the room itself, right? It's from the room itself. Now let's listen. He doesn't seem very relaxed. Who knows? Who knows what's going on? But, well, everyone is standing, right? So, who knows, right? What's going on?
Says the journalist.
If they are not in charge, what are they like? Displeasure? Hombro, dice. Una persona fue. There is out there, so what is it? There are the people who disparage. That's also part of what is being revealed. What else is out there?
Well, so this first image, apparently the first image of the detained person. Let's see.
Let's look at this image.
Obviously, you can't see his face, but you can see that he's detained. I mean, you can see that he's handcuffed, right? That's what's important. And, well, he looks, well, young. I would say he's young, okay?
Let's take a look at the image. This would be the individual already being detained. Obviously, like I said, he's being detained.
Yes.
He's alive, in fact. Well, there he is. He's already handcuffed. They have him covered with a blanket. I imagine they take off all his clothes and everything to see if he doesn't have another weapon or something like that, right? No, well, I guess he looks young. Well, he seems to be white, right? I don't know what you think.
Yes, I see him as dark-skinned.
Dark-skinned. Well, I see him as white, dark-skinned. But, I mean, let's see. Isn't he, Look, let's zoom in on the image a little, okay? Yeah, he is. I mean, look, I mean, yes, he is. Yes, he is white, but yes.
It could be.
Don't.
Yes.
He's white. I mean, because that really matters a lot because, well, it's not the same if the guy turns out to be, right? Some Arab angle or some lone wolf, right? That kind of detail, right? That's pretty clear. It doesn't look staged, at least from what I can see here. No. With zip ties, exactly what I use a lot, precisely because you can get them on so quickly. And what stands out to me is, I mean, look, he's right there. And everyone else is already looking somewhere else. I mean, I imagine they're probably looking for more agents or more people like this individual, right? Who might have been involved, but he would be the suspect, let's say, right? Because there still aren't any details, so we need to be more certain later on. But it seems that he is the suspect who was arrested, the one they took out running. Apparently, I don't know if he has any injuries or not, but it seems like he doesn't, right? That's, well, also part of what's happening. What else? What else is going on out there?
Well, the Secret Service, as we were saying, is still investigating the case right now. In the next few moments, we hope they will give more information about this individual we were showing you a little while ago. At this moment, it is known that tactical teams entered the stage area to protect the president. And this J. D. Vance was with the other secretaries and he was escorted out. Aren't they talking about the second lady? I imagine the Secret Service wasn't there at the time. Well, does this also report that law enforcement had already detained him since they did their job quickly, as Donald Trump says? And well, it was the first time Trump attended the dinner, the Correspondents' dinner, even though it was his second year as president. Not anymore.
Exactly. Well, it's a tremendous incident, honestly. They call this a security incident, right?
Yes, There were already almost 500 journalists at the scene, and this event really generated a lot of controversy, honestly. The time, this year, well, all the presents. In this second presidency, Trump in particular has been restricting journalists a lot. It's an issue that has drawn attention, and some issues have even ended up in court, for example, the Pentagon and the journalists. Well, the Pentagon lost that one. Trump has been restricting this, and a few dozen protests gathered in front of the hotel. In fact, there's a picture I sent you where there are some people protesting in front of the hotel, and there was a person, for example, dressed as a prisoner with a Pete Heshe mask and red gloves. Another one that said, "Journalism is dead." So there really are a lot of people who are against Donald Trump protesting outside of this.
Exactly. But anyway, this is one of the images of Karen Lewis circulating. Let's listen and see what she says. You say, no, escuchar. Well, that's what Perla was saying just now, because Perla said in the comments, she said, "Did you see what she said?" Karen Lewis is really crazy because, the White House spokesperson is saying this. Now she's really doing her job as a spokesperson because she's even announcing that there will be shots fired. Karen Lewis, the spokesperson, says this at the dinner about this happening, right? Karen Lewis told Fox before the White House Correspondents' dinner, "It will be fun, it will be entertaining to see one the room." And obviously because she's referring to strong comments or things like that, because in the end they always take it as a good thing. Other presidents take it with a sense of humor, they do some self-criticism, things like that. They also make fun of the press a little, they make fun of the presidents. It's a little bit of everything, but let's listen to this moment again because, well, basically guessed what was coming. Let's see.
It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room. Everyone should tune in. It's going to be great. I'm excited to hear it.
I love it. Wow, well, those comments really take quite a turn. Cheers, Zapatilla. How have you been, Zapatilla Blue? Very good. Excellent. Greetings, Sylvia. How are you, Belicio, Martin, Edwin, and everyone in the community? How are you doing?
Edwin, go back to the beginning so you can see the whole story. With the images and everything.
Right at the beginning, well, those who are just arriving, try to watch from the start so you can see more or less how the situation unfolded chronologically. And well, during the live stream, we'll be seeing how this situation develops. It's an incredible message that Carmen Lewitt gives.
Sorry, Donald Trump already put out a message because, if you remember, they had resumed the party, which is quite strange. But Trump says that law enforcement has asked everyone to leave the premises according to protocol, and that a press conference will be held in 30 minutes in the White House press briefing room, where we always see these conferences. And the event will be rescheduled within the next 30 days.
Of course, yes, that would be the most logical thing, right? How could there be an event like that to begin with? Because
it's fun.
You obviously have to investigate it. Yes, exactly. It needs to be investigated. You have to see, who went in, who let them in. Yes, there are a lot of situations that need to be taken into account there. Well, that's obviously important. What's happening? It's the moment when the Secret Service, by the way, was evacuating the area. In 30 minutes, it's 7:44. We're going to have the White House digital room open here so we can also watch live and see what is being said. But the White House will go live in half an hour, so obviously we'll be commenting on it, right? Obviously, they say Secret Service agents have been evacuating the area with weapons in hand. Obviously, the hotel is the Hilton Hotel in Washington, and Melania Trump, the First Lady, Donald Trump, and of course the cabinet members were evacuated first, right? That's the priority, obviously, to get the high-ranking officials out first. And then that announcement is made, right? Where they say the event will continue, but I think that's part of the confusion. Then they say, well, no, the event can't go on, it's cancelled, and now the event is officially cancelled, but that's also super important. The fact that now there's also the image, right? Of this man who was arrested is very interesting. We'll see it again in a moment, but I'll stick with this one. I think this would be, from the comments, The most curious comments from Carol Lewis. No.
Let's see the future.
Yes, well, yes, because it's Fox News interviewing the spokesperson for the President of the United States. So, well, let's watch it again. Really, it's amazing. There will be some shots today. Well, it's obviously coincidences or whatever you want to call it, but it's incredible. It will be fun. There will be some shots tonight in the room, says Lewis. And, well, as Astrid says, Carol Lewis is pregnant, just days away from giving birth.
I won't hold more press conferences until after I have the baby. Thank you.
Yes, she won't be the one here today.
No, Friday was her last day.
Well, it won't be an extra day, I mean, to be here. Maybe, right? Maybe she'll feel like it, but anyway, well, those are tough situations too. We'll keep following this as it develops. I hear a sound, right? Yes, I hear a sound. I think it's from here, from us. So how have you been, Druka? Hello, Edwin. Greetings to Sylvia, to the whole community that's joining. To Mr. X, huge shout out. Danny Martin, to the whole community that's joining. Thank you very much. Well, in the end, the all day today, the important news was supposed to be the alleged agreement with Iran, right? I mean, the potential dialogue, but that cools off immediately when it's clear that Iran wasn't interested in the United States. You know what? You better go back. There's no point in continuing with this if you don't want to. We
have an audio clip of him dubbed into English where he talks about this.
Yes. Let's go ahead and listen to the message he gave. And let's also see how it's going. Evolution, but we are the image of this individual and their person who does not. Obviamente de momento. But que pues to be live, there is very faith that you can see here, but it is very interesting. This is an individual of God, not how all this is evolving. Basically, the information will be taken from him, and we're watching it happen. Let's see, it's this one, it's the person, it's a man. He looks young, let's say, if you had to guess. How old do you think he looks?
21.
We go...
Yes, 20-something.
Between 20 and 40, let's say, right? Because I do think that, I mean, it can be very misleading. I mean, the photo, because, well, it was taken from very far away. But let's say between 20 and 30, let's say at most. But you're right. I mean, he looks very young. That's the thing. Short hair, looks dark brown or black. Well, he appears to be Caucasian, right? Well, and maybe he's a loner or maybe, well, it's something else, right? But that will have to... It will have to be analyzed later on. These are the first images that have come out of this individual who, for now, I insist, we don't know his name or what he represents, if he even represents anything, right? That's also, well, it's important... This happened in Washington, as I was saying, to those who are joining, to those who are arriving. This happened in Washington, D.C., obviously in the capital of the United States, where these kinds of events are commonplace. It's one of the most anticipated events of the year because of the topic. Well, it's kind of like paying tribute to freedom of expression and all these kinds of things, despite the controversies that Trump has with the press. Well, the event was going to take place, but, well, that's how the event ends, at least for now, right? Here are more images of listen, there, let's images this already from later, right? They had already taken Trump out. Yes, everything, right? That's it. I no, wow, what a feeling. You can still see people with weapons. No. The agents are there. Well, there will be a lot more footage. Surely not, because, well, you imagine someone responsible. What else is there? Images. We have to...
Of protests that we mentioned to you a moment ago that were outside the hotel, although I think some of them are inside. But anyway, there were protests, definitely protests against certain actions of the government, obviously. And well, this is striking.
Well, that's part of the protests. There they are. It looks like they're inside the hotel. Honestly, it looks like the lobby back there. The protests, According to reports, it says the protesters broke into the White House Correspondents event demanding that Pete Hegseth be arrested for war crimes. One of the protesters included S. He was even dressed like Maduro with a mask and chains on his hands. Arrest Pete Hegseth for war crimes, it said. Sorry. If it sounds so strange, I say that with so many things going on, why protest? Why protest over a fool like Maduro? The truth is, to me, it just feels like a waste of time. But anyway.
Well, it's like they lump everything together.
No, but they only talked about Maduro. They didn't talk about anything else. They just mentioned him. They only talk about Maduro, at least in what we were just saying. They only talk about Maduro, and besides, the Maduro mask. And all those other issues that Trump has. And this protest being wasted on that issue seems to me, well, a waste. And well, in any case, that's just part of things. Curiosities, one another. Let's see, it's this.
If you are...
Those are protests outside the hotel. And yes, well, the classic ones where there are government events. There will always be some complaint, a protest, obviously important on different topics. Let's listen to what they are saying. Well, there it is. There are other images from the moment. No, let's say this. Well, outside. No, this is outside the event from the, what's it called? The hotel. That's also, well, it's important. And we have this, our nation, we saw it. Let's go to another image. Do you know what this investment is about? What is this?
Here we are looking at the security screening to get into the event. I mean, there was security. Or, I mean, as always, the famous, these metal detectors.
Those walk-through metal detectors?
Walk-through metal detectors? Well, yes, there was at the entrance, she says to write it down. The entrance to the building didn't have a security machine, only guards. You only went through security before entering the ballroom. Well, that's how they can come in, enter the lobby with weapons, and then to go in, well, that's it. Where the event was, there, yes, they had security there.
You could just enter the hotel armed and walk around. Yes, and this?
Because these two were there answering, of course.
Because, come on, couldn't they block the way for the regular guests, so to speak? No. So, well, but for the event itself, there was security at the actual event. That's where I imagine they found out he had the weapon, and that's where I imagine this situation happened, possibly. Let's move on to the next image. And thank you very much to the community that already liked it. Keep sharing, helping out. You already know how to help us by liking, recommending the channel, recommending or sharing the videos on your social networks. Thank you very much for doing it. This is the moment they take him.
The person detained on the floor? From the perspective of Angeles, who stayed and listened, she heard between 5 and 6 shots, which seems like a lot to me, because yes, 5 or 6, well, actually one of the shots hit the chest. But the echo makes it sound like more. There are no injuries or anything. He ran toward the dining area and was carrying a firearm. Several witnesses said they weren't sure if the individual had the weapon. Well, I mean, there are a lot of different versions, like always in these kinds of events.
Always in chaos, and still there's no clear version of what happened. Anyway, that's when they detained him. Well, look, now the reporter is adding more details, saying that he did get hit. I mean, if he hadn't been wearing the vest, obviously, well...
He wouldn't be telling the story.
Situation, obviously, well, that's how things are in this matter.
Here are images of when they evacuate, but I think the secretaries are Pete Hegseth and Karen Levitt. If I'm not mistaken, the ones being evacuated at this moment in this image, where, well, obviously they're also being asked questions. You can't stop being a reporter for even a second.
No. No, well, there it is, right? I think that's Pete Heshette, the one who's going, this one right here in front of this person, and the wife, I imagine that's his wife exactly. There she is. Look, that's him, that's Heshette there, leaving the event. Obviously, well, that's it. Another important part, right, of this whole situation is the cabinet. Actually, someone from the cabinet, but it's not clear who is the one who gave the warning or who heard the gunshots or something like that. And that's when this whole situation happened, right? Look, let's listen to the audio for those who are just joining. Let's listen to the audio. Although there are a lot more images at the beginning of the video, if you're just joining, it's better to start from the beginning, but listen to the following. Listen in the background. Can you count the gunshots and tell me how many you hear? Let's start. Okay, again, here we go. Let's see, I'll tell you about the gunshots. I think there are 4. Here we go, let's see.
Five, huh? Around there.
I think it's 5, but I don't know what you guys think. Let us know, please. It's just that first it's bang and then bang bang.
It's just that I didn't understand myself.
Yeah, exactly. Like the first one and then 4 and the bang bang bang. That's what I see. That's what I hear. Sorry. And from there, second, what I see is that after the shots, the Secret Service arrives so we can see how fast all of this happens, right? Check it out. Eight seconds, and even the Secret Service just counting it in my head, right? But it's about 8 seconds and the Secret Service is already there. I mean, of course, it's from the moment the shots were heard until they get there to protect him. I don't know if that's slow or fast, but that's about how many seconds it took them to get there, right? Of course, the person wasn't right there. He was still a few meters back, and it's super strange, really weird that they didn't take him out. They always end up taking him out just in case, for whatever reason, right? I mean, they shoot to hit, right? So how is that possible? How did they...
It's very...
full? How do they manage to... Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can also hear his gunshots, but are they all his? Or is it that the first shot is his and the rest are from the Secret Service agents? I mean, obviously we don't know that either, at least for now, right? That's also, well, important.
By the way, a political commentator from Berlin, she's from Fox, mentioned that, well, according to her, there was no security, no metal detectors, no pat-downs, there was nothing. But anyway, we saw an image where there was security. I don't know if there are several entrances. Maybe at another entrance there wasn't any security. But anyway, she says there was no security.
Well, that's what she says. That's how things are. So on this topic, it says here, how has it been? Where was it? It was at the Hilton Hotel in Washington, D.C. This is an annual event. It's the White House Correspondents' Dinner. That's the event. We're waiting for the press conference from the White House. So in a moment it will happen, but, well, if it happens here in a little while, obviously we'll be watching it live here with you to see what the report is, what they're going to say about this topic, and obviously that's going to be important too, right? How have you been? It says she's going to speak from the White House. Exactly, Anai Alvarez. We're going to be watching it live here. Greetings, Patricia. How have you been? Angel Carrera, Anai, Eduardo. Hello, he says. Today there are people detained and injured. Look, so far there is one person detained who is the one who fired. Apparently he was being taken in, but it's not exactly clear what happened to him. But yes, it seems like he was hurt. At least that's how it looks, right?
And well, there are no injured people. He didn't hurt anyone at all. No one. The officials say that the shooting suspect tried to go through the metal detectors at the entrance of the place and fired at the security staff. I told you that he shot someone in the chest, but they were wearing a vest, so it didn't do anything at all. And with that, the suspect, they reiterate, is alive and in custody.
And indeed, as you said, it has already been confirmed here that the event is cancelled and that they will reschedule it. From now, I mean, not necessarily in 30 days, but within 30 days, they will announce the date, right? That's the point. It could be in a week, in 2 weeks. That will depend on what the White House decides, right? But anyway, that's also part of what's happening in that sense. Big hello, Silvana. How have you been? Nicholas, how are you? Angel, hello. Let's look at another image of what's happening in that region of the world. Let's go to that now.
We're seeing how they're evacuating J.D. Vance. There he is, watching the scene, the Vice President of the United States.
There he is, there he is. Thank you. And look, I mean, it's really interesting because notice how, well, it's also important how they evacuate them. They don't go the same way every time. O sea, vicepresidente, presidente. Well, from different sides because you can't lose both at the same time, right? I mean, first they take out J.D. Vance, the vice president, on the left side. And on the right side, they take out Donald Trump seconds later. I imagine they also wanted to make sure you can hear them saying this. I mean, it's like he's already ready to be moved and then they start moving and guiding him toward the exit. Let's watch this moment when they take him out. There's J.D. Vance sitting, Vice President of the United States, and this is the moment. Let's listen. And look, let's go. Trump is still sitting there, right? And then there he is protecting him and... Clear. Lo van sacando. Well, that's it. That's part of what they're reporting there. Again, just imagine there were like hundreds of journalists, right? There were about 500 people or 500 journalists, more or less 500 journalists plus the guests. So just imagine that, right?
Well, since it's Trump, he trips. Is that true or not? Okay, let's see. Do you have footage or not? Let me know. You get them. Yes.
We'll show it right now, but I mean, he's walking when they tried to take him out and he trips.
That's why they're on the ground.
That's why he's on the floor? This is the one, right? Can you see it around here?
There it is. Oh no, but you can't see when he trips there. I mean...
Well, and look, right now, there it is on the floor, but that's because he falls, right? I mean, he trips when they're pulling him out and everything. They're picking him up there. I thought they had thrown him straight to the floor, but no, look. There it is. Let's keep watching now.
And up there, yes?
This is the moment. You'll see it there. There he stumbles. Let's listen to it. Let's watch it.
Are they speaking in Spanish?
Yes, someone spoke Spanish. Well, so this is another image. Is it up there? This one? Let's see. We're looking at this. This is another image. This is what's happening.
This is already the video of this person. What's happening? This image is about to go away. It's the moment when he sees the one who stops him. Right now there's a rumor about who it is, right? But I don't think the police have actually said it. I think it's more of a rumor that's coming out right now because the Russian media are still reporting it, okay?
But anyway, what's the rumor?
It would be a 31-year-old teacher from California. I'll tell you the name, yes.
No, we shouldn't expose anyone, yes, if it's false.
Since they're sharing the photo and all, I mean...
Supposedly it's a teacher, but let's wait to see if it can be confirmed so we don't mention a name that isn't correct, right? But it would be a teacher, let's just say alleged. We won't mention a name for now and wait a bit, but it's a person from California, 31 years old. Yes, he's African American. That's not alleged. That's clear. Yeah, that's right. You know, it is him. He's one of those African Americans with a very light complexion.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, well, let's say he's like coffee with milk. Yeah, exactly. Or, well, supposedly that's this individual. Let's see. Well, so what is it that we know? We'll look at that detail in a moment. Let's see. Look at the image. It does look different, honestly. I mean, this is the image. At least here, I don't see him as African American, honestly. Let's see. And
Greetings to Nai, he says. Greetings, he says. Lid says, it's just that he's doing badly in school and wants to improve. That's true, what a lot of people are saying.
A lot of people are saying that. I mean, a lot of people say, well, no, that they don't see it as believable, this situation, right? And what do you say? And well, all kinds of things have happened to him, you say, or the Secret Service is doing a very poor job, right? Or what's going on, right? But it is obviously an important issue there. Let's read some comments in the meantime while the White House stuff is happening and all that, and let's see how things develop. Greetings, Maria Elena Lid Perla. How have you been? Hello, says Perla. She wants to play the victim because she didn't even move, says Perla. How have you been, Perla? Nicholas, greetings, he says. The German dictator from last century was also saved by miracles during the attacks. Nicholas says, greetings, Nicholas. How have you been, Martin? Hello, Peggy, how have you been? A big greeting to the whole community. Emilia, how have you been to the whole community? Anna, great, thank you for the comments. And well, in the meantime, we keep waiting for the moment when it's going to happen. Well, the survey, the press inside the White House, let's see what happens there, and well, also the reactions, obviously, from the cabinet, what they say about this whole situation. Rubio. By the way, wasn't Marco Rubio around there?
I don't know if he's here. I have a comment from before this. He's going to make fun of the event because they ask him if the event is important and he says no. I don't think it's important, but it's super important because it's good. When I had this comedian, is this thing about humanizing the president. I mean, he doesn't have the power. We can make fun of him to his face and he has to put up with it because the media can talk about the government and we can criticize it, right? That's the idea behind the sale, especially.
Well, the control obviously isn't enforced. If not, well, that's the point. That's the issue. Let's see if the new press reveals any details, right? I mean, for example, the name of the person, if that were confirmed, that would be huge news. Raul says, how have you been? A big hello, Raul. Edilcia, how are you? How have you been as well? To everyone joining the community, thank you so much. A big hello.
Don Lemon was at the event. I'm not sure if you remember this journalist. He was detained for filming and documenting a protest against ICE that took place in a church. Oh yes, well, he says that this isn't normal. He says, the Trump regime is trying to take away freedom of the press. It's trying to kill the First Amendment. You have to take a stand. And if you're in that room evaluating this, are you complicit in normalizing something that shouldn't be normal?
I suppose that beforehand.
If this is clear beforehand?
Well, that's how things are in that sense too. So if it were to be revealed, it is a solidarity. Or what happened to him? I imagine here that what will be investigated is also possible networks with other groups, etc. We will also look into that. And well, it will have to be considered what happens with the Secret Service, which is doing a very poor job. I mean, come on, in a hotel where the president is going to be, I mean, they don't secure the entire hotel as they should, so that really catches my attention. That's quite an issue, isn't it? What else is out there?
Let's say hello. Greetings to Martin. What's he saying? Trump's Department of Justice reintroduces firing squads? Yes, it was reintroduced yesterday. It's something, well, I don't know from which century. Greetings to Edilce Sendeño. Greetings as well. She says it's all just a show and says, it makes me laugh a lot, that show. Could it be that he's filming a movie? He's trying to divert attention.
Hello, how have you been?
Very good. Greetings to Leonardo. He says, more than making fun of the president, they made fun of the Secret Service. Leonardo asks, greetings to Leonardo. Greetings to Maria Rosa, she says. It was a staged attack, says Maria Rosa. And Letty says, was it a direct attack against Trump? Well, no, because, I mean, we can't say it was a direct attack because he didn't even get to the room where they were. The event, right? He got to the lobby but didn't make it past the security checkpoint, so, well, we can't really say it was direct. Greetings to Chetumal. It says he's a friend of the detective here. Hello, how are you? Also, greetings to Clara Castillo. She says, oh, what's going on? Greetings, Clara. Greetings to Christy. How are you, Christy? And Roble is here too. Ney says, blessings to all Colombian brothers from Argentina. Greetings, Ney. How are you? And also greetings to Emiliano Acosta. He says, everything was staged by US agencies. Greetings, Emiliano.
Greetings to the whole community.
And Peggy Monk says, I don't worry much about our Messiah, Trump, because he is the power. To resurrect in less than 3 days, you see, really? With this, he is Jesus. Not like what people think, he is one from the Red City.
This state, Ricardo, very good from Vic's prison. Huge greetings, enormous. This idea is extra as well. Well, we are your mother, Maria, what is it? Maria Rosa. And which Rosa, like, well, Leonardo and Clip and the channel to what we have. Super channels that are much, well, essential and that you're possible. This news channel is good, well, now through Super Chat, memberships, PayPal, OXXO. Whatever way you can and want to, well, it's really appreciated. Also, giving a like and sharing helps a lot too. Let's stay alert. Let's see if they give details in the press conference that we haven't mentioned before. But I think we've seen quite a few things around this whole situation.
Are there any new images?
Let's look at more images. Let's take a closer look at this situation, at what happened over there with Donald Trump. At this event in Washington, at the Washington Hotel as we call it, let's look at this image and see what's happening.
This is outside the event.
Outside the event?
When ambulances arrived, well, everything arrives just in case it's needed, and you can see all the activity.
That was it then. After the situation, the ambulances arrive, everyone comes, everyone tries to see if there are any injured. I mean, well, obviously to help, that's good too. This image is shown, and that's why Marco Rubio and his wife, according to what is shown, Rubio and his wife are waiting to be admitted to the White House after the shooting involving Trump. They're out there just waiting for someone to open the door.
It says we don't know them?
Waiting for someone to open the door for them. Marco Rubio and his wife. Well, serious, obviously very serious. In that image published by Reuters, it also catches my attention. And well, several other media outlets have seen this very interesting moment. They tell you the story, a little bit of what's happening. What else?
There are also more images.
Let's see, let's look at a third one. What is this about? This is another moment when the Secret Service were going, let's listen, are telling you.
What you think, watching?
And they're guests. Apparently, it's cabinet members leaving the White House here at the White House Correspondents' dinner, stepping on broken dishes to get out, he says. Here is the Secretary of the Treasury escorting the Secretary General. All French, imagine that. Did you see it?
Yes, that's the one right here. Let's see.
He's the one in the back, right?
That one in the back.
What do you think it is? I saw it, but it's yours.
Nice.
We see the moment here. There it is. That one?
I think it's from security.
Yes. So the Secret Service goes in front and behind him, and he's coming out escorted. Well, let's see. There was the Secretary of the Treasury, the Secretary of State, J.D. Vance as Vice President, Donald Trump as Vice President, probably more people from the cabinet around, the Attorney General too, and also Todd Blanche, the new one, right? Because remember, this one came out. What's her name? The prosecutor.
The prosecutor left?
It's exactly Pam Bondi that was left out. And well, obviously 500 more journalists, more guests, or 1,000 things, many figures. Well, there's also the health guy, Kennedy, yes.
In fact, there's a picture of Kennedy.
He was there too.
Two of those and the one above?
Let's see. Let's take a look. It's this one, and we've already seen the one above.
No, yes. No, calm down.
Yeah, look at this one. What is this? What's going on?
They're interviewing her. Her name is Kennedy, before the event.
Secretary of Health, right? There's his wife, the actress and comedian whose name I forgot, right? But anyway. Well, that was obviously before, right? This is shown by C-SPAN, which shows Robert Kennedy speaking and kind of foreshadowing things a bit. The president says he'll give a great speech and likely offend some in the press. That's a good thing. I think it is good. The president is very funny. I hope some good feelings come out of it and that people can take it as a joke, he says himself. What's his name? Secretary of Health, right? That's also the moment when they start leaving. What's going on there?
Trump was passing by. Trump's motorcade was leaving. Yes, they were already on their way out when they were leaving the place.
Oh, okay. Well, right? What a moment. So that's the moment when Donald Trump is leaving. That's also an important part. And then we have 3 more images, 4 more images, more. Let's go into the details of these images. Hey, if you're here live, help us out, share and well, all that stuff, right? You already know, so I won't go on about that anymore. Let's see. Let's take a look. This is the image, right? This one, and obviously for those watching live, you more or less know how to support us. You know that sharing is super important for the channel. This is the moment before, right? Yes, that's before. Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, said the following. That's you.
State, what do you tell a CS-PAN audience about an event like this, about the White House Correspondents? Why is this important? You've been doing enough of this.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's important or not. I can't say I was invited. No, yeah, it's fine. You get to see a lot of people. It's one night in which a lot of people that maybe don't see each other every day get to see each other. There's a lot of attention paid to it. I've only been here once before, and it was a long time back in 2011, which was the last time the president came, but he wasn't.
What did you think about that speech? It got a lot of attention.
I know nothing I could compare it to because it's the first time I've ever gone to one.
So why didn't you go to other ones?
Oh yeah, I don't know. It wasn't for me. I'd rather go back and forth on Saturdays than be here for no real reason. We just never came. We're here tonight, and it's the president's first time attending.
Obviously, it was still very calm up until that moment, right? I mean, what we've already seen hasn't happened yet, right? I mean, obviously, all of that changed in seconds. We're also seeing this situation. This is reported by Deborah Leah, who says the following: a driver. Well, according to what they're reporting, there they have a person. They're pointing at me. He says, "Stop now, stop now." No, that one with the car. It says, "Driver held at gunpoint by DC police." It's a woman, a young woman who's there. She seems to be Asian. She went the wrong way, and they're telling her to go back that way. Imagine that. I mean, the person doesn't even know what's going on and says, "Where am I supposed to go?" Yeah.
She can't get through because she's unfamiliar with the area.
Exactly. I mean, that's crazy. That's really crazy. Well, we also have this other image. What's happening there?
Here we can see how the police are moving toward the hotel when they were just heading to the hotel.
As they headed to the hotel, Trump's entourage passed by. There go the Secret Service, ambulances, basically everyone is there. Everything is secured, basically, right? Just in case anything happens, any problem. Well, that's part of it, but this was before, right? Before anything happened. And then there's this other image. I imagine this is part of the event, right? Is this before?
Yes, thank you. Here she is leaving, remembering that her husband died in an attack.
Exactly. I mean, her husband dies in an attack. And now she has to be at this event. Well, it's also tremendous, obviously, this situation. There she is. There is Erica Kirk also leaving the event. Well, this whole thing is tremendous. Well, what else? What else do we have over there?
Let's see if you still don't have it yet. Wow, right? Cheers, greetings to Tapatia and also to Eliseo. And if you can't, maybe you could put some cones instead of pointing guns at people, I know, right? Imagine how nerve-wracking it is because you really don't know what's going on. Everyone's life doesn't revolve around what's happening at the White House. And well, yes, a very aggressive attitude. Yes, it's really intense. Greetings to Nicaragua, how are you? Also to Nicolas Dilala, how are you?
Big greetings all the way to Nicaragua, to Tapatia, how have you been? All the way to Jalisco, Tapatia, how have you been?
Greetings to Nicaragua, how are you? Greetings to Nicaragua.
To Francisco Garza and Mr. X here, big greetings. How have you been? How are things over there?
Angie says the videos can't be heard and they can't hear what we played.
Let's see, can you guys hear this? Listen. got it. I got it. Okay, I guess so. We'll see about it right now. Let us know. Did you hear it? What's going on? What's going on? Thank you. Okay, well, good. Awesome.
Awesome. Let us know if you could hear it or not, please. Yes, yes, greetings, says Eliseo. Of course, some cones, reflectors, or something like that, or lights. Remember that the episode was Trump's plan, says Tapatia, and Nina says, those who stir up storms and know nothing about diplomacy, says Nina. Greetings.
Greetings, how have you been?
Greetings to Martin, she says. Colombia is experiencing a terrorist incident. They turn around. There were 2 intense days. Yes, exactly. Very intense. Today their radars were destroyed. I think you already mentioned it. Yes, exactly. Greetings to Carlos Pinto, she says. Yes, we can hear you, says Juan Carlos. Greetings from Cuba. Blessings, greetings, blessed Juan Carlos. Greetings.
Greetings, Juan Carlos. Excellent. Greetings.
Yes, right now. Okay, perfect. Okay, so you didn't hear? Since when not?
Some did, some didn't.
Okay, yes, and his ear recovered. It turned out well. Send him my regards.
Yes.
You stopped already. Greetings to Klipo as well. How are you, Klipo? And also to Vic Skarsgård. How are you, Vic?
Greetings, how have you been?
To Ricardo Botella? That was just a scare. Also greetings to Sylvia Mata, who says Leo makes comments that seem so silly or mediocre, Sylvia says. Greetings, Sylvia.
Greetings, Sylvia.
Greetings also to Hal Chavino. How are you? And here it says where they link him with Idan. We're screwed. This is gonna blow up. For now, the scandal won't go away. Oof. Yeah, well, just imagine. Yeah, imagine. No, but I can't picture them doing something so... I don't know. I think they'd be more aggressive, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah, well, let's see. I'd rather wait so we really know what's going on, right?
Yes, it says, Tiandi Quintanilla, good evening, I love you all. I'm dying for Trump's term to end so I can see what happens in the next 24 hours, blaming Trump for their own mistakes and miseries. Will they die of stress when Trump is gone? Greetings, Tiandi. Greetings.
Greetings, how have you been? Very good. The White House press conference is about to start, so we're going to be analyzing it right now, watching to see what's being said, right? What reports will there be, and will they provide information about this, or just be very institutional? That will be key to understanding if
they say the name of the person who was detained, that would be good, and that way we can confirm who it is.
Exactly, that would be super important.
It says, what I'm seeing is that the Secret Service are a bunch of bunglers, says Chaviano. Greetings, how have you been? Hello there. And Maria Gomez says, good evening, how are you? It's not fair to attack our president, who is doing so many good things for the country and for the world, says Maria. Greetings, Maria. Okay, greetings also to Pedro Ruiz. How are you? And Leonardo also says, man, now the Middle East takes a back seat. I wonder if karma exists. Greetings, how have you been?
Hello there. Well, look, this event is tremendous, but maybe the Middle East takes a back seat for 15 minutes. The Middle East right now, that's the topic, right? I mean, I would understand that. I mean, these movements we're seeing toward Cuba, for example, I feel like it's more like, hey, let's do other things. On the other hand, because it's unsolvable. So far, there's no way. There doesn't seem to be a solution to the issue, they say. And yes, it's an issue that's on hold. Well, a fifth of the oil, a fifth of the gas, and potentially also a fifth of the economy. If they close the strait that leads to the Red Sea, the Bab el-Mandeb, that would also be a huge issue. So does all this add up to us not daring? You can't stop that scandal since it's very serious. But you're right, for 15 or 30 minutes. Well, maybe right now people will be talking more about this topic, but tomorrow I think people will go back to talking about Iran, right? Yeah, and it will also depend on what they say right now to see what connection they find to what kind of movement or something like that. I mean, if it's a new lone wolf, obviously, aside from whatever needs to be investigated, which is another matter that also has to be carried out. Since there aren't any open stock exchanges or anything like that, there's no reaction from the markets. Right now it's still Saturday, it's Sunday for Asia, but tomorrow night, if this uncertainty about what happened at the house continues, well, at the Hilton Hotel in Washington, and besides the fact that the issue with Iran remains unresolved, we'll see a reaction. Even more important in oil and all this matter, but anyway, let's move on to other important points as well. Well, a report is coming out in which at least Polymarket has a press section. They have a section where they show points, they analyze and share news. According to them, the name of this person is already known and confirmed. You can also send me the photos, but let's see who this person would be. Let's see who this person would be. Well, let's say it would be a teacher before anything else. Allegedly, they say it was him. Several media outlets are reporting it now. So it would be a teacher named Cole Hallen, right?
Cole Hallen. Yes, Cole Hallen, mechanical engineer, professor. He's also an IT specialist. He finished a master's degree in computer science 11 months ago and is a video game developer. He has a game on Steam, for example, called Borden. It's about an atomic battle.
About a tremendous atomic war. Well, so from California, Cole Hallen, 31 years old supposedly. He would supposedly be 31 years old. It would be him, right? The image that has been circulating is of, by the way, with a Teacher of the Month award. I mean, he works as a teacher. He recently won the Teacher of the Month award in Los Angeles County. This would be the face of the person, let's say, no, I insist, allegedly, right? That is not known yet, but let's say he is under investigation or among the suspects, right? It could be him. We'll see if it's confirmed later. He does have the same forehead as the photo we showed a little while ago. I mean, the same type of forehead. But that doesn't mean anything. We'll have to see more details, although some media outlets are already reporting that it could be this person. 31 years old Cole Hallen, creative teacher. Well, that's also out there. He is allegedly the shooter. We'll see if that gets confirmed later on. I insist, allegedly that's what's already being reported in the media, right? So we first saw it on Polymarket, now we're seeing that it's showing up in more media outlets. That's also important, right?
Greetings, thing like this. Also, it says he looked blonde. Honestly, I saw him as darker skinned, but do you see him as white? But anyway, let's see what happens. We'll find out soon. Let's hope they say who was arrested. The White House? I think once the White House says it, there won't be any doubts. Greetings to Raul, he says. Deniers only believe what suits them. It's hard for them to analyze the news objectively. Greetings, Raul.
Hi Raul, this is the photo of the shooter, and I do see the differences. For example, I don't see curly hair, right? Or honestly, don't you think he looks different from this person? If you see him as dark-skinned?
I see him as dark-skinned. There.
It is.
Very light-skinned, right? But well, no.
I don't see dark-skinned. I mean, this...
Yes, well, for me, he's dark-skinned. I do see him as white, he says. The 4 worst years of humanity are coming, says Francisco Arcelo Francisco. Let's not be so negative, says Perla. It seems like it was the first time that event happened to Trump. In the previous ones, he hadn't gone, she says. Greetings, Perla.
Greetings, Perla. How have you been? Very good. Cam, greetings from Briseka to the whole community. Thank you very much. Big greetings.
Really pale, says Perla. Do you see him as really pale?
Yes, the actress says white. This one seems difficult, but well, that's how it is.
For example, the cop he is white. You can see he's a bit pink.
Well, yes, but he's the pinkish one.
But the other one doesn't look like that. He looks kind of brown-skinned. But anyway, we'll find out later. Greetings.
No, not even on his arms, which is where you could smell it the most.
Then a chicken. Simply.
Yes, exactly. It's good, totally. In fact, I have a friend who is good, really good, and he's just like him. I mean, I'm not going to say his name, but he's a music producer.
Oh, yes.
Someone who's just like him. Yeah, he has that style, but anyway, what else is there to talk about?
Let's check if anything came up, but no, nothing yet.
The White House is already live. I mean, it's already live. It wasn't on just now. Let's see if it starts at any moment, and we'll see. Let's see what they say in this one.
First it says he has a beard in the image, then it says he doesn't regarding the beard.
That's good. Closing his audition.
But she says, I see him as white, not black, says Tapatia. Yes, greetings, says Juan Gabriel. Good evening. Greetings from Panama. Greetings, Juan Gabriel.
Greetings, Julian. Good evening.
What it says is that what they should do is drag that I didn't understand. Well, greetings, Julian.
Greetings.
It says to drag him greetings, Angie. It says nothing to do with it. The one who is on the floor and the one they showed in the video that appears on Twitter, you can see how they arrest him. Greetings, Angie.
Greetings, Angie. Good evening.
He's a light brown-skinned guy, says Francisco. Greetings. And Peggy Mon says, and now let's talk about how we always divide and forget about the cases. I know, I just brought up something else, the Pentagon, which would be the second topic they always bring up. To avoid talking about this, well, they brought up the eye thing. Now they said they're going to open everything. I mean, how many times have they said that?
Well, yeah, the thing is they don't release anything. I mean, they say it, but at least they should release something interesting. So, Julianne, what's up? Angie, Peggy, welcome to everyone joining the community.
They say the video looks better than this one. Let's see where it stopped on the floor. Which, as far as I can tell, you can't see anything.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, it's like really far away, but well, let's see if we can see it, right? What else? I don't know.
Says greetings also to Vic. Let's say hi too. She's here. Peggy is here too. Sylvia is also here. Carlos Pinto, how are you? Carlos Pinto. And Edwin Octavio, how are you? He says I got lost, says Octavio Edwin. Greetings, Edwin. What's up?
Hi, Edwin. Greetings to everyone. Feel free to leave a comment, and thanks to those watching the replay. Also, because obviously this video stays here and other people will be watching it later, let's give a quick update on this a little bit. I'm going to...
She isn't wearing a shirt?
But none of them are wearing a shirt.
Wasn't there another one I sent you at the start where he's dressed in black?
Ah, there isn't. But no one has been seen with a shirt. They've all been without a shirt. I mean, all the photos are without a shirt. That's why I say white, because you can see all the skin. Here it is. Let's see if we can put it here in the image.
Hello, Marcela Sanchez in Caracas. How are you?
Hello there. How are you?
You're watching us from San Diego, California. Hellboy DF. How are you? Drunka is here too. Adrian Metal. How are you? You say Blanco greetings. Yes, look.
Look. Come here, okay? Uh-huh. Come on. Is it? What do you mean?
Hello, what do you mean he has?
Well, can't you see it? No? Really? No?
Well, he says no offense, but I've thought badly. Or maybe it's just that in Mexico a lot of unpleasant things happen and very few people talk about them. Regards, Carlos.
Regards, Carlos. Do you really think it's just a few? I believe many media outlets are discussing the topic.
Recently, something happened involving Brugada or someone else, and they asked the media not to mention negative things since the World Cup is coming. Just imagine, yes, if...
There are a lot of news outlets talking about it, and there are people who handle local and national topics, so yes, I think there are quite a few, right? He says, greetings, Italo, how have you been? Hello, greetings to Chile, how have you been? Rick Castle, greetings also to Omar. Very good, he says greetings, you know? If any other president has faced as many attempts to be 000...
That many or not?
I don't think so, honestly. I really don't think that many. Hello, Marco. How have you been? Greetings all the way to Punta Arenas. That's great. Thanks so much to everyone joining us from South America.
Greetings to Aristides. Where did the shots originate from? It was in the lobby. He didn't make it into where the reporters were because there's a security gate, and obviously he wasn't going to get through. Of course, greetings, Aristides.
Greetings. Thank you, Diaguito. Big greetings. How have you been? Julio, big greetings to you too. Thank you very much. That's it. Let's listen.
But today's a little bit different because today we need levels of security that probably nobody's ever seen before. But everyone owes a tremendous debt of gratitude
Julio.
for the courage of law enforcement, and working with the DC police, and just spoke with the mayor. And when we're finished, the police chief is going to take over and discuss it also from their
point of view.
But they also performed exactly as they were supposed to. And you see the attacker in different positions, but you also see the attacker totally subdued.
And they stopped the people and
attacker. So, as you know, this is not the first time in the past couple of years that our republic has been attacked by a would-be assassin who sought to kill in Butler, Pennsylvania less than 2 years ago. You don't know that sort of thing in Palm Beach, Florida, a few months after that.
And
again, we had some great work done by law.
On one side is
this FME, and meanwhile they are resolving the difference peacefully. And in the FME,
Well, obviously from the event, but
obviously
well, to the
you had, but also the Washington police, exactly, liberals and progressives. Those words are interchangeable maybe, but maybe they're not. But still, everyone in that room, big crowd, record-setting crowd, there was a record.
At the event, there were all kinds of people, from left to right, including liberals.
And there was a tremendous amount of love and coming together. I watched, and I was very, very impressed by that. But we were
that
analyzing,
honestly, my friend, it was necessary.
Vice President J.D. Vance, who's here, was likewise beautifully done. He was just saying how quickly everybody acts for law enforcement, Secret Service, in particular, in this case, his security too. Marco Rubio was there. Pete didn't want any help. He didn't want anybody to help. He doesn't want anyone to help him, but he did manage it, right? Knew. And I think you also said it was very impressive. So with that, I would like to ask Todd Blaine,
who handled all the security.
Come up, say a few words, and tell you it's already underway. Underway, the man has been captured.
The man has been captured who is still at home.
He's going to his apartment. I guess he lives in California, and he's a sick person, a very sick person. We don't want things like this to happen. I do want to say, as I told the representatives, they did a beautiful job with a wonderful evening. They're talking about free speech in our Constitution. That's what it's all about.
And now the one who raised
White House Correspondents. It was really based on free speech in our Constitution. But I said very importantly that we'll do it again within the next 30 days. It will make,
remember that, in 30 days,
bigger and better and more. I just want to thank everyone who was involved. I also want to thank the press, the media, and everyone who was very interested and responsible for the coverage. Thank you for seeing what's been out. You've been very responsible. So Dodd Blanche, I'll say a few words before we have Cash. And then you're going to go on. We can ask, I guess we can take a couple of questions. I want to thank the First Lady for that. It was a rather traumatic experience for her. There's a lot of action taking place up there very quickly. But again, the response time was really incredible. We're rescheduling and we'll do it again.
Which was impressive.
We're not going to let anybody take over our society. We're not going to cancel things out because we can't do that. We wanted to say thank you. I fought like hell to stay. But it was protocol, sir, because they didn't know a lot was going on and they didn't know what could happen. Probably a lone shooter, but we'll find out. We'll find out very quickly.
Probably.
I want to thank everybody.
She wanted to go since it had been a complicated day, but they told her to go because it was the tradition.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Tonight you saw the very worst and the very best of this country. You witnessed the worst from that cowardly president's actions.
Well, right now we saw the best and the worst of this country.
Because you saw law enforcement do exactly what they're supposed to do. And you'll see the videos come out, I expect, very...
showing that the security forces did what they were supposed to do. And now you've been watching the videos and you saw that that's exactly what had to be done and according to the protocols.
I'm extraordinarily grateful and appreciative of the men and women of law enforcement that did their jobs tonight, including one who was...
By the way, J.D. Vance is also to the right of Pascal.
Ongoing. I expect...
I imagine that he is the...
Museum of...
The White House?
The charges should be obvious.
Of the White...
But as you'll hear, there will be multiple charges related to the shooting, the possession of firearms, and anything else.
And that we can reach heaven. The investigation is obvious.
Ongoing, and it just started. There is already federal law enforcement.
The fact that no one has died, well, possibly...
They may release him soon, but I don't want to get ahead of things. Obviously, it was Director Patel and I who were at the crime scene, and everyone in this room should rest assured that the Metropolitan Police Department, the FBI, the Secret Service, everybody's on the scene doing their job.
He says the place is packed with police, the FBI, and others investigating.
We'll leave once we finish the statement.
I'm looking into how the work's done.
I can read him the details of what they have learned. But in the meantime, I just want to thank everybody in this room for the courage. And I want to thank President Trump for his words. And I promise you justice will be served. Thank you.
I assure you, justice will be served. Thank you.
General,
and we thank all the people for the courage they showed.
The president is absolutely right. You saw the best of American law enforcement because you, Mr. President, inspire them every day and provide the resources they need.
Patel, he is the director of the FBI.
Dynamic in this country.
Well, he always flatters Trump a lot, and well, he doesn't let him do it at this moment.
To subdue and take down Alejandro Trump, and well, with...
As he usually does, he was recently...
Thanks to our interagency where they claimed that they were about to, and the
fire him department.
The FBI quickly moved to the scene, took over the evidence response unit, and is examining all the ballistics found at the scene, including the long gun and the shell casings. We are conducting witness interviews as...
Yes, and they're collecting all the evidence.
Evidence for the investigation, and the head of the FBI division. But please, what the general has said is not true. You saw today's America. The very best unite us at a time of uncertainty because we have leadership here with the president and the vice president that backs law enforcement. And the men and women whose hands I shook at the scene today could not have been prouder to show up on scene. And as the Attorney General said, make no mistake, we are conducting witness interviews. If you have any information whatsoever related to this event, call 1-800-CALLS.
If anyone knows about the event, this is the place to share it. Small.
No piece of information is too small. We will also be conducting interviews of those that were there. And if any of those individuals have information, please come forward to the Metropolitan Police Department. We will be examining this individual's background thoroughly. That process has already started. They are
investigating the
past of this individual, right? To thoroughly investigate everything that happens. We will analyze all evidence immediately to make sure that we safeguard this country. Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, thank you for your leadership. Attorney General, Secretary Marlin, thank you for your partnership in law enforcement.
We'll do a couple and then we go to the chairs. Madam Chairman, I just want to say you did a fantastic job. What a beautiful evening, and we're going to reschedule it. Applause. After that, it's very tough for her to ask a killer question, right? But you have done...
You've studied at night a lot, right? Yes.
I appreciate it. As you mentioned, it all happened so quickly. And I wonder, especially because unfortunately you have experience with these sorts of threats. In that moment when you realized there was a threat and service agents were telling us to get down, can you describe what was going through your mind, how you were feeling in that moment?
He asks, since you have experience with such events, what I thought at the time.
Something like this happens. It happened to me a little bit, and that never changes. In fact, we were sitting right next to each other, the First Lady, am I right? And I heard a noise and kind of thought it was a tray. I thought it was a tray falling down. I've heard that many times, and it was a pretty loud noise.
She thought it was a...
It was from pretty far away. The area at all. They really got him, so it was quite far away, but it was a gun. And some people really understood that pretty quickly. Other people didn't. Then they were watching to see what was happening. Should have gone down even faster. Melania was very aware, I think, of what happened. I think she knew immediately what happened. She was saying it's a bad noise. And we were whisked away along with other people, but we were really whisked away. And again, the performance of the Secret Service and the police, all of the law enforcement, I thought it was really good, so it was very quick. There was a lot of time to be thinking because it was a matter of seconds before we were out the door and gone into an area. We very much, and you wanted to too, we very much wanted to continue it because I don't like to let these sick people, these thugs, these horrible, horrible people change the fabric of our life, change the course of the world.
To continue the event, but...
Because he doesn't like...
That sick people.
We held out right till the end.
At the events.
They didn't want to, which is good, protocols.
Unfortunately.
We're going to be doing one hopefully within the next 30 days or sooner. And I am ready, willing, and able. And I was all set to really rip it. And I said to my people, this would be the most inappropriate speech ever made if I said that. So I have to save it. I don't know if I could ever be as rough as I was going to be tonight. I think I'm going to be probably very nice. I'll be very boring the next time, but we're going to have a great event, and you did a fantastic job. Thank you very much. Peter, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. There's a report in the New York Post that this assailant assembled his weapons somewhere on site at the hotel. What do you think about that? And I ask respectfully, why do you think this keeps happening to...
Well...
Yes, but he tells him that there are people who saw that the person was armed.
It's the most impactful. The weapon first.
Right? That's what I thought at first.
Then he asks him that.
If that's it, implying a security flaw, and he doesn't ask what you said, right? Why do they keep happening to him?
Where they got them. But the people that do the most, the people that make the biggest impact, they're the ones that they go after. They avoid those who don't do much because they prefer it that way. And when you look at the people that have either, whether it was an attempt or a successful attempt, they're very impactful people. Just take a look at the names here, the big names. And I hate to say I'm honored by that, but I've done a lot. We've done a lot. We've taken this country and we were a laughingstock for years, and now it's a lot of...
Who has done wonderful things in the country.
And there are a lot of people that are not happy about this.
People unhappy with his actions. Yes?
Basically saying that he is doing a lot of things, and that's also why, right?
Yes.
Well, then you just don't do events. No, I can't do that. It is what it is. We have to do it. The room was very, very secure. You know, he charged from 50 yards away, so he was very far away from the room.
She says that the room at the venue was very secure, that the person fired from 50 yards away.
He was really moving, and the reaction time was great.
And, well, how quickly they acted, the way they reacted to the event.
The fact that no one was injured really stands out, right? No word from anyone, not even.
And if I didn't, I'd let you know. I'm not going to be... I would not stand for that. No, I thought they were very impressive.
Thank you, President Chanta.
No, us, no.
I suspected before. Were you aware of any threat? Was your team aware of any threat? And do you think you were the target of this today?
I guess.
What threats do you see if you think he was targeted in this attack?
And, you know, you never know. He was very far away from me. He had to go through a lot. We had resources everywhere. We had resources sitting at tables, literally in disguise, maybe sitting.
And, well, they have resources and staff not watching?
He had people all over the room, so he had a long line of defense. We are protecting him. Well, they got him. And they really did incredibly. No, we've had no notification.
They had no notifications of threats or anything about a possible attack?
I can tell you that maybe tomorrow or the next day, you know? He's in custody.
But anyway, they're not going to reveal who the person is until tomorrow or the day after.
They're already at his apartment. He lives in...
Did they already go to his place in California? That was quick.
They're over there so they can tell you. Thanks, Caitlin.
Did the suspect say anything, or was he wearing anything that would suggest some type of motive here?
No, I mean, he was...
Well, if he had anything that revealed a political motive, yes.
The clothes?
Well, yes, no.
In my opinion, a sick person. Who would do that but a sick person? You'll find out everything about him soon. No need to discuss it now, but by this time tomorrow, you'll know a lot about him.
We'll have more info about the person tomorrow.
They seem to think he was a lone wolf, and...
He has to be a lone wolf.
Concerned about his U.S. Secret Service protection ability. We saw several of the detailees take minutes to be escorted out of the room.
No, they acted very quickly, and I was very impressed by Secret Service. I mean, I'm the one, and Mark Wayne, you would agree with that, I think. I'm the one that would complain. You don't have to complain for me. I would be complaining. I'd be up here right now saying they didn't do their job. Believe me, because, you know, it's my life.
I asked about the Secret Service's actions, and if they moved, the gentleman would complain.
But when you're impactful, they go after you. When you're not impactful, they leave you alone. Okay, a couple more. Go ahead, please.
Is there any indication that this shooting could have been linked to the duo in Iran?
Yes.
I think this attack could be connected.
I don't know. We have the best people in the world working on it, and we're going to know a lot, please.
President.
A lot. You, as well as some of us who have covered Butler, experienced another horrific day 2 years ago. What felt similar? You know, you had the First Lady with you today. What felt different? And you have another 2+ years in office. Have you wondered about the difference between the phone?
Well, I can't be concerned. I can only get great people. They did the job. In my opinion, a much better job than Butler. Butler had one weak spot that we all know about. Somebody should have been up there. But even Butler, we had a sniper on our side within 4.2 seconds from a distance of about 400 yards, one shot, and he was gone. If he didn't do it, you know he's David. His name was David. I say hello, David, every time I see him. David, I like you very much, David. But think of that. Now, if he doesn't hit him, and he hit him right between the eyes from 400 yards without any notice, nobody knew. He heard a sound. He looked over, and there was actually a tree that was somewhat in his way. You know the story very well. And he aimed, he fired. If he hadn't done that, you would have had many more people killed.
Well, he's talking about how in the inner case, well, a tie rod.
Badly hurt, they're okay.
One of the security guys didn't make it out alive.
So essentially, it's pretty incredible the work that Bueno...
If it hadn't been for him, more people would have died. You have to remember that several people lost their lives.
Tonight they had everything covered very quickly, and he was fast. He was running full blast, and they got him before they got any further. I was very far away. You know, he hadn't anywhere close to breach the doors of the ballroom. The ballroom was sealed and everybody in there. That's why once those doors opened, they didn't want to do tonight. If the doors weren't opened, we could have probably done it tonight, but I think we're much better off rescheduling. Yeah, please.
Well, remember that he wasn't in the one who was in the lobby. He wasn't in the...
What is the level of confidence that this was a lone actor? And has the suspect made any statements to police while in custody?
I think I've just looked at some of my profession. We have great professionals up here and outside that have been working with us. My impression is he was a lone wolf whack job. These are crazy people. These are crazy people. And they have to be dealt with. We had that in the second attempt, as you know, and he's spending his life in prison. Because if you let him out, they'll probably, you know, if he serves 10 years or 15 years, you're not going to try it again with somebody else.
He's crazy, and it's important to remember he'll spend his life in prison.
But you're going to know, I think very shortly, you're going to know, Todd, a lot about him. You're going to know a lot about him, no?
No. And we're going to go into this person's dinner.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Are you concerned about political violence? This could be politically motivated.
I'm concerned about everything. Look, but I can't be so concerned that you can't function. No, I'm here. It's a dangerous profession. You know, I tell the story, race car drivers, I think it's very dangerous. So you take 1% and then take about 10% of 1% just to break it down very easily. They die. So much less than 1%, 10% of 1%. I think bull riding is very dangerous. If you take about the same 10% of 1%, much less than 1%. But if you take presidents, it's 5.8% math.
Punches, right? Referring to the fact that supposedly it is, well, it is, right?
If Marco would have told me, maybe I wouldn't have run. Maybe I would have said, I'll take a pass. No, it's a dangerous profession, but I don't view it that way. Look, I'm here to do a job as part of the job. It is a dangerous process. I can't imagine.
It's dangerous, but part of the job?
Profession that's more dangerous. But I love the country and I'm very proud.
People always said there are many crazy people.
We have a great country. We've got, I believe this is the most successful, hottest country in the world. This happened over a...
He now claims the United States is the most unjust country.
And we're going to do great things, but with that come risks. There's no bueno.
When you do those kinds of things, there are always risks, right? I mean, basically, you're doing something really good.
Aimed at yourself, but at other members of, members of Congress, state house speakers, and more. Is that just the cost of doing business to do politics in America anymore? What do you say about our culture?
We're not the only country. You see this violence in all countries. I was talking to somebody from another country today, and they have numerous issues.
He asks if doing business with the United States is dangerous now, and he says, well, it's dangerous anywhere in the world.
Some numbers are horrific. It's dangerous. It's dangerous stuff, whether it's here or someplace else. No country is a miracle. I don't know.
Here or anywhere?
Good question.
At this point...
Well, probably if I just decided not to do much, you know? If I let everyone walk all over us and take advantage of us, if I did nothing at all...
Well then, there wouldn't be so much danger. But if you do things...
Well, I rebuilt it in my first term, and now we use it because we have no choice. We can't let, as an example, Iran, we can't let them get a nuclear weapon. Everything will be peanuts compared to that if they ever were given a nuclear weapon, and they'd use it too. Marco and I were talking about it today. They would use it without even hesitation.
Well, the truth is, well, it can't be that everyone gets what they want, right? Like in the case of Iraq.
250,000 in the Dow.
We just broke 7,000. They would have already used the nuclear weapon.
in 5 years, 4 years. They were saying maybe in 5 or 6 years. And we did it in 1 year. And I called everybody together. I called all of these people and others and said, we have to take a little journey. I seek to do this. We just had the great number. We just broke 50,000. It wasn't supposed to happen during my term. Wasn't reachable. Did it in 1 year. I said, we're going to have to make a journey to Iran. They're going to have a nuclear weapon if we don't do it. We had the B-2 bombers take them out. I terminated in the first term the Obama.
The damage they did to him.
The Iran nuclear agreement, which was a...
Presidents before him did not.
When you do things like that, you become a target. If I wasn't doing that, I guess I'd be a lot less.
Laura Diaz says, what would you ask this man right now? Well, that's a good question that Laura is asking.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. Thank you, President Trump. Do you know how the gun was brought into the hotel? And also, how does this event impact you as the leader of our country? Do you think it will
change you? I prefer not to think about it.
Ask how he got in with the weapon and how it impacts him.
It's a pretty normal life considering it's a dangerous life. I think I handle it as well as a community. I think a lot of other people, you know, you read stories where they become basket cases. To be honest, I'm not a basket case. I really just take it as it is. I do it for the country, not for any other reason. The First Lady is doing a terrific job.
Who works out of love for the country and who...
She recognizes better than anybody. She's told me numerous times, she said, you are in a dangerous job. But that also applies to her. It's dangerous for her too. We sat there tonight, we heard that noise, and it was either a tray or a bullet. Que tiene...
The lowest poll numbers, even lower than Nixon. I mean, there's no president with lower poll numbers.
I'm very proud of them. I'm happy with them. I mean,
yes,
it has been tremendous.
With pride, and
they will.
Francisco is saying here, right, that it's a very curious moment for this to happen.
The names and everything else, I think we released the names already. Most of you would have it, but his name. We appreciate it. I see so many tuxedos and beautiful dresses. There are a lot of tuxedos, and again, that's very
beautiful because
we have a great president.
They were
dressed for the event, and we have to make it better. We'll make it safer, I guess, right? But we're going to make it even better. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
You know what?
They're going to be, well, very safe elements.
Do you want to say something?
See.
Okay.
I mean, it has to go back and... Ask the one in the back.
Actually watching you, you showed your courageous leadership, and thank God you're alive. All of us are alive today. What are the messages that you want to give to the world that this should change? What corrective measures can we
take from here on? Well, all you can do, look, I don't care how many people you have, how good they are, they can be the greatest people. You have the greatest security in history. If you have a whack job who's got a brain, but
it's a little bit
distorted or a lot distorted.
Puedes tener la mejor del mundo y si hay un loco, yes.
It's dangerous. You know, they can be of genius level IQ and they're nuts. So it can be true.
People who have a pretty high IQ level, I mean, they're geniuses, but they don't.
He started running from 50 yards and he was fast. He was like a blur on tape. He was moving. It was very impressive the way they got him.
He's practically in farewell mode now.
He also made a very interesting comment earlier that, well, he doesn't see that.
They let him get through, but they didn't let him get through. Who created those weapons so quickly? Yes. Okay. Looked like Matt.
That you're going to see?
Right. Yes, of course.
They looked like somebody that knew what they were doing. What do we do? But it comes with the territory. And if you want to do a great job, I really believe that. And you take a look at what's happened to some of our greatest presidents, and it doesn't happen to people that don't do anything. And it's not going to deter me from winning the war in Iran. I'm not sure if that was related.
Speaking of the war with Iran, it's also branching into other topics.
I'm going to continue to do a great job. That's all I can do. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
They say, well, tomorrow will be very interesting because there will be information about who it is.
It is confirmed to be California.
It's been confirmed he's from California and they're already at his apartment. Well, we'll see, right? We'll see if more information comes up about this, right? The press conference at the White House has just ended. That's the broadcast actually from the White House itself, right? So...
Well, Mario Villanueva says that with what just happened, it seems like everyone has forgotten all the bad things he was doing and they've just handed him the next elections because he's going to look like a hero. I don't think so, Mario. This time that won't save him.
Yeah, no. It only lasts 15, 20 minutes for him, or honestly, it doesn't seem like more than that. But obviously, it's still an interesting topic either way. We'll see what happens tomorrow with this person, since now that he's been captured, we'll also be able to learn a bit more about him and his possible intentions or why he might have done it, right? Supposedly a lone wolf, although we still can't know for sure. Allegedly, he's a person from California, a teacher. We'll see, right? If that also gets confirmed. Well, alright, let's go.
Come on, guys. Remember that we're on WhatsApp, on Telegram, and we're also on Facebook, X, and Instagram. And well, tomorrow we'll be updating you on who this person was. Currently, we provided you with a possible identity for who it could allegedly have been, right? Alleged. Yes, alleged is right. At least it's confirmed they're from California.
Exactly. Well, we'll be paying attention. Many thanks to the whole Mr. X community. Big shout out to Fabis, to Peggy, and to the whole community. Well, always here trying to broadcast live what's happening in the world. Thank you all very much. Big shout outs. We will obviously continue to update with videos and everything about this situation, and we'll keep updating throughout the night and the day. We'll see what else comes up, right? Obviously, it's an important topic. Big shout outs. Tapatia, thanks to the whole community. Big shout outs. See you, well, maybe tomorrow or even later today. You never know, right? With the news, we could go live at any moment. Thank you very much. See you soon. Inter.
We interrupted your regular programming. Thank you for tuning into the truth. This is
Pepe.
M Live. The truth is intense hard. The unusual is real hard. Here we analyze it. Global focus, don't miss out. Connect to the channel. Pepe Live, controlling the signal. Pepe and Astri telling it like it is. Raw journalism is respected here. Turn on alerts. Don't look away until next time. Yes, sir. We're taking attendance and Pepe Live in the house.